Hey there, and welcome to day 34 of our Supersize Your Business Annual Challenge. Today we're talking about our business confidence portfolio. You got one, right? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And this whole month we are focusing on the area of confidence and decided to cover it first this year as we dive into our life framework areas. There's 9 of them, of course: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. And I used to talk about them in that order. But then I started thinking about, it doesn't make sense. And since this is the first time we're doing an annual challenge for the Supersize Your Business community, I wanted to make sure that we did it in such a way that we can repeat it, that somebody can join anytime and get the value and the transformation that happens when you do one little thing every day to grow and build and supersize your business. Well, today's topic is business confidence portfolio. What the heck is that, and why should you care? Well, what it is it's a collection of your wins as a business, the things that you've accomplished. And it can take any way, any shape or form you want. I actually, one of my first jobs in corporate America was in a really, really yikes environment, right? Super negative. All men. I was the only woman in the entire organization. Well, we had a secretary back when we called them secretaries. No offense to anyone. She was a receptionist and she helped us do so many administrative things. It was unbelievable. There were like 9 department heads in that facility. Anyway, too much detail. So one of the things I discovered early on in that environment was that I had to find a way to feel good about the bad things that happen and bad days. Because guess what? We all have good days. We all have bad days. And when we are having a down day or a little bit of time that's down or bad or negative in our day, we want to have a resource. I like to have a physical tool that I could look at. And so that's where I started what I called my awesomeness file. And I had a file folder in the beginning of my file cabinet. Never told anybody there about that. But anytime something good or positive, or I got positive feedback, or I had a win, I stuck that in that folder. Guess what? Come review time, it was pretty easy to put together my write-up for my own personal review. And of course, salary increases that go with that in corporate America. You know what I'm talking about if you work in that arena. To have all my accomplishments and just type them all up and share them with my boss. And it made performance appraisals a whole lot more fun and comfortable for me because I went prepared. I think I was the only one that did that, which always shocked my bosses along the way, but it was a really powerful tool that I learned to build on. And so I actually created, as I was going through my corporate career, I spent over a quarter century in corporate America, a big ring binder. It started out as a small ring binder and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger. It's in my storage unit. I should have gotten it, but I didn't think I was going to talk about this today. But it's a big, like 4-inch ring binder of positive things that people have sent me, proof of different things that I would say I could do in a job interview. And it was all the proof and documentation and wins in one binder. Of course, it wasn't everything, but it was a pretty significant binder. And when you walk into a job interview with that, people are just like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. I guess you do what you say you can do, and you can do this, and here's proof of it. So if they would ask me a specific question and I had proof of it, boom, I'd flip to that and show them, hey, this is where I did this and this, this, and this, and for this, this, and this organization. And so really, really powerful. Do you think that made me more confident walking into job interviews? Do you think that made me more confident approaching people that I want to do business with and partner with? Absolutely, positively. So I recommend you do that today. Create for your business a little portfolio or just an awesomeness file or whatever works for you, or just start with a list of wins that your organization has had so far. And if you're brand new, just starting out, use some of your personal wins. When I was first starting out and deciding I wanted to switch industries, the industry I joined right out of college, I realized it was a great starting point for my career, but I realized it wasn't where I wanted my personal development and growth and continued learning and leadership and things to go. I had a bigger dream for myself than any organization would ever have for me. So I realized that when I left that first job, the next thing I wanted to do was to switch industries and actually see if the skills and abilities I had been developing and honing since I'd gotten out of college would transfer and be applicable to another organization. Absolutely positively were, but I needed to build up my confidence and prove to myself that if I could do it in this type of organization, I could do it in this industry, in this organization. And part of that is where I started to build this portfolio. So what do we look at? What are we looking at for wins and things? Anything that helps us to have proof, revenue milestones that we've reached. And I would say just start out with a list if you've never done anything like this before. Clients that you've landed, clients that you've approached, big ones that you're maybe still working on. I have people that I want to work with that I've wanted to work with for 25 years, and I just landed with one of them, which is so freaking exciting. I can't even tell you. Somebody that I'd admired for years, and now I'm working really closely with that person. Problems that you've solved for customers, team development, any awards or certifications or things like that that you've gotten and achieved. I still talk about once in a while if people ask my certified quality management, and then certified ClickFunnels, because those are things that you have to go through a whole bunch of things in order to get that certification. Am I using either of those? Well, probably I'm using a lot of the knowledge and wisdom that I acquired in those, but am I using those certifications for anything right now? No. I don't think I ever used my certified quality manager thing for anything. I think it was on my resume. So we want to create that. If you want to find a tool to do that, there are apps. There are Google Docs. You can just start it in a Google Doc. I am an old-fashioned person, and I don't have one because I can't reach it. I like to just write things physically down in a notebook. And then I can say, okay, well, what do I have that backs up this win? And I can just take a screenshot of something nowadays. You could save it electronically. You could do a Notion. You can journal. You can create an awesomeness folder. I think everybody should have an awesome folder or an awesomeness folder. I absolutely do, both in your personal life and your professional life. So what are some questions we want to ask ourselves? I like to ask myself questions every day to deepen what I'm talking about and thinking about. What's something that you've accomplished as a business that you probably just missed or said, that's no big deal, but other people would think, oh my God, that's fantastic, right? Those are the kind of things we're looking for. So what's something like that? I guarantee you have at least one thing like that that other people think you're awesome about and that your business is, and you don't even necessarily realize it. How do you find out? Ask them. Just ask them. When I doubt myself, when I doubt my business, when I doubt what I'm doing, what evidence proves that I am absolutely, positively capable of doing that, and I'm actually capable of figuring it out? We want to have some evidence to prove that, because facts trump emotions every single time, right? Facts will beat out and evidence for ourselves. Sometimes we don't need it for anybody else. We just need it for ourselves since we're building and growing and supersizing our business. And then what would somebody who believes in you say about your track record? What would they say about you? I realized after coming on the school platform that I am incredibly consistent. I never thought of myself as a consistent person, but I am very consistent. I have rituals and routines that I follow, and I change them up and I review them, but I do them every day. I do them every single day. Why? Because it matters to me. It's like the trick of getting up at the same time every day, no matter what day of the week it is. I've done that most of my life. Few exceptions, if I'm sick or something, I might not do that. But for the most part, up, same time, same bat channel, and it works for me. It doesn't work for everybody. But if you need help being consistent, I can probably help you do that. And that's something I totally underrated and never even really thought of before. So what are we going to share today? We're going to share one win, one thing that we're proud of, big or small, but we're going to share something in the comments below. Why? Because when we share wins and positive things, it brings more of those into our life. And we want as many of those as we can possibly get this year. All right. Any questions? Hit me up and ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day. And I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Keep in mind, I would love if you join me on our Supersize Your Business School community. If you would like to do that, just write community in the comments below, and I will send you the invite. Have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, see you tomorrow.